Welcome to the Sports on Pulse. I'm Gary Al Smith, and it's the first working day for many of you out there, and so Happy New Year to you. For those who have been watching us for the past week since the New Year started, Happy New Year continues for you as well. We are talking today about a new club for one of Liverpool's brightest stars in the last couple of seasons. It's Philippe Coutinho, who has had the biggest transfer in British football history. That's for a player going outside, as he's left for £142 million, or in euros, that's 160 million. There's so much talk that has gone into this move, especially because he wanted it to happen last summer, and it's taken a couple of months more. What does it mean for Barca? What does it mean for Liverpool? And more importantly, what domino effect would it have around Europe? In studio with me is Fifi Forsen to help us look at the man in your short, beaming with smiles, and the man who says he is home and it's a dream come true for him. Thank you, Fifi.
Yeah, thanks, Gary.
So there he is posing at Barcelona.
Yeah.
They gave him a rousing welcome on social media and even in person as well.
Everything is on point. He passes the medical. They've given everything, but not a jersey number yet, because they are considering the jersey number.
But he says he's fine with any number.
Yeah, but I heard something like 24. The 24 is the famous jersey because of Iniesta. Iniesta wore it before they gave him the 8 jersey.
Okay.
And probably the 7 jersey, if Arda Turan should leave, will also be available for him to use. So they've given him everything. He's passed the medical, although he has a thigh injury. He's passed the medical.
He has a thigh injury.
Yeah, so he's out for 3 weeks. Of course, they've been confirmed.
Is it a proper thigh injury, or it was an injury because he wanted to leave Liverpool?
It's a proper thigh injury, and Barcelona have confirmed that he's out for 3 weeks. Not the back injury that he said it was down to stress.
That back injury where he had with Liverpool, but was still able to play for Brazil.
Incredible.
So what does this move mean for Barcelona? First of all, why did they sign him now when they could have signed him in the summer, the coming summer?
Well, I think they signed him because the player has been pushing for the move. And if you look at how things have panned out so far, Barcelona went in for Coutinho in last summer. They went in all guns blazing, and they submitted £120 million plus add-ons, and including if Coutinho should become a Ballon d'Or winner, they are going to pay some amount of money to Liverpool. But Liverpool they stood on their grounds. They rejected all the bids from Barcelona. But this time around, the player has made it clear, and the player wants to move. And if you realize that when the winter transfer window opened, Coutinho decided not to play again. So his last match for Liverpool was in December. So he's just gone out. He traveled to Dubai, and he decided not to travel with the team to Dubai. So it was down to the player forcing the move, and Barcelona also has to step up to save the players.
So that is what it means for Barcelona as a club. However, how does he fit into the system? Because Ousmane Dembele, who also was acquired for quite a bit of money, over 100 million, is still in the team. He's come back from injury and he's recuperating. There's Lionel Messi, who is irreplaceable in the team. There's Luis Suarez, there's Rakitic. Where does he fit into the team?
And there's a certain Paulinho, you forgot to mention that. And that's a huge tax for Valverde now, because this is someone who's coming to the Barcelona team, and he's brought his own approach, the pragmatic approach, and it's working very well for him so far. If you look at how Barcelona have lined up this year, they've played 4 in the middle. They packed the midfield, and if you watch the El Clasico, it was the 4 midfield that worked the magic for Barcelona. They dominated the midfield, and they won the game. So it could be like Coutinho coming in, and with him being cap-tied with Liverpool in the Champions League, he could be replacing Iniesta for Copa del Rey games and La Liga games, and Iniesta will be kept fresh for Champions League duties. Or could play in the Rakitic role, because if you look at the position Rakitic is playing right now, he's playing more like the 8, as if Busquets is in the number 6 role and he is the number 8. So Coutinho also can play that role very well, or either he replaces Paulinho in the other part of the midfield. So I think, all in all, Valverde is going to make good use of his versatility, because Coutinho is very versatile. The only part that I think he cannot play very well is on the wings, where the people trying to mention that he can replace Neymar there. No, I think Dembele suits that role very well, and Dembele will be given the nod ahead of him. But for the midfield, they can play anywhere in the midfield. Yeah.
No, so what you're saying, if I'm getting you right, is that because Iniesta is growing, he's 33 now. 33.
Next year he will be 34, and I think his time at Barcelona is due.
Yeah.
He will be leaving very soon. And Coutinho had been seen as a long-term replacement for Iniesta.
Even when Neymar was around.
Yeah, even when Neymar was around. And Neymar was even one of the Barcelona players then who were vociferous that Coutinho should be signed, and all of a sudden he left, but Coutinho is now a Barcelona player.
Now, for Liverpool, what does this mean? I mean, they've got a big chunk of money now. When they were... at the time Fernando Torres was leaving, it was the same thing. They got paid a lot. When Luis Suarez was leaving, they got paid a lot. They haven't exactly used those monies well in each case of the two cases. Now that Coutinho is leaving, what does this mean for the Reds?
For Liverpool, I think they still have the men, they still have the players, and you have to give credit to Klopp, because if you look at when the season started, Coutinho was not very fit. He was not fully concentrated on playing. He managed to form a team that would play even in the absence of Coutinho. Even Lallana was also injured at that time, so you also realize that Klopp has done a very good job. And even in the absence of Coutinho, they have a fearsome attack.
Sure.
With the likes of Salah, Mane, and a couple of players, Firmino there. So they have a fearsome attack. But how do we use the money? I think Liverpool always they get the right players for cheap amount.
They know how to scout.
They know how to scout well.
Yeah.
But what has been their problem is at the back. Since Klopp took over, they've been struggling with their defensive problems, and always they're not getting the right defenders. They've brought in Van Dijk, and I think what they have to do right now is to go in and bring a top-class goalkeeper also. So a defender and a top-class goalkeeper. They should be very, very careful, because the transfer market is spoiled. So they can go and they can even get a defender for the amount Coutinho
went for.
So they should be very careful. I think Klopp will go to Germany and bring in some fine players.
Germany seems to be a relatively cheaper market these days. I mean, Germany, Spain, Portugal, Italy, Holland. Yeah, they can get some good talent for there that are not as outrageously priced as those in the English Premier League clubs. So Coutinho going to Barca, we'll see how he fits into the system. We see how Liverpool also look at, not necessarily replacing him. They might decide to replace him, get somebody to be in his position, or they would like to augment their squad in key areas, like Fifi says, in the goalkeeping department or elsewhere in the team. Thank you for your help with the analysis, and it's a discussion that will continue on some of our shows, certainly here on the JoyNews channel. I'm Gary Al Smith, and that's the sport for now.